Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say Shalom to Ak and Akwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled, Don't Dig Yourself into a Pit. Now, I don't know if by the time I get to the end of this lesson, Lord willing, that if I'll have a tagline for it, something, don't dig yourself into the pit, and then in parentheses, however it goes. But as of now, the title of the lesson is just Don't Dig Yourself into a Pit. Now, this comes up from a conversation, all right, that I had with a sister. And I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and actually turn this into a lesson. Now I don't have it. It was a physical, face-to-face conversation, not a comment board conversation. So I said, you know what? Even though that was talked about, let me go ahead and make a lesson on it. All right, because maybe through the spirit, other people might be dealing with this. All right, because you know how it just goes sometimes. All right, some people might be going through the same thing at the same time. All right, I've seen it before in this truth. There's times where everybody was really going through it. All right, so you never know if other people are in a like mind in that state. All right, now sometimes you're going to be going through different things than other people because everyone's got a different walk. All right, you might be suffering with things that other people might not be suffering with, but everybody goes through the same basic things. All right, temptation, demonic attacks. All right, just trying to stay strong in faith. All right, and keeping on. Right. But some people have things that are more specific to them. Some people might have job problems. Some people might have health problems, relationship problems, all right, problems with their children, all right, problems with transportation, all right, and so on and so forth. Everyone's got a different walk, all right? But in this truth, we all have, the same, we're all getting, attacked demonically, all right? The demons are out there. The spirits are, high, all right, and riled up, all right? The demonic spirits, right? Because we're getting closer and closer to the end. All right, Esau's technology, of course, doesn't help. All right, all this technology around, that's pushing negative and wicked vibrations. Okay, so but and so that's part of it as well. But when you're going through these things, all right, whether it's demonic attack or car issues or relationship issues or health issues, all right, you got to realize you can't dig yourself into a pit, as the title of the lesson says. All right, you can't dig yourself into the pit, being that, something bad happens to you and you start getting that woe is me spirit, all right, and you think, oh, everything's worse, all right, it's going to keep on getting worse, all right, nothing's going to get bad, the Most High is not going to help me. That's the worst thing right there, and that's really what this lesson is about, is when you start, letting those demons get to you, all right, and they say, hey, here's a shovel, all right, and you just start digging away, all right, here you are already, you've dug yourself into a pit, and now you're digging yourself deeper and deeper and deeper, okay, especially because the demons are going to mess with you in that way, all right, have you, try to conjure up a doubtful spirit on you, all right, and they'll try to, the Most High is not going to help you, he's not going to help you out of this situation, all right, but it's your job to rebuke that demon, all right, because you can't get in that spirit. You can't let them, put you in that spirit where you're not thinking, about the Most High. When you say, what, I'm already in a bad situation. The Most High must not be dealing with me. All right, I'm going to pray, but, he's probably not going to even answer me anyway. All right, because look, or, like you get in that woe is me spirit and you're asking for help, but you're like, yeah, he's not going to answer me, and guess what? He won't. Okay, as the scriptures say. All right, when you pray, you have to believe. Okay, now an excellent scripture, we're going to grab a multitude of them, but an excellent lesson, all right, about the same topic, all right, that can explain it in a different way. I saw it quite a few weeks ago. I believe it was 3 weeks ago when I first saw this. It's from the brother down in GMS Yorkshire, or Yorkshire, all right, is how it's technically pronounced, all right, over in England. All right, so Yorkshire, but everybody in America would pronounce that as Yorkshire, all right? So it was called "Don't Put Curses on Yourself," and in this lesson, all right, the brother talks about this, talks about when when in that situation, all right, and you're putting and you're having the doubt, the Most High can actually depart for you for a time and for a season, all right, because you're basically you're not having any faith in Him, you're not believing in Him, okay, and so that's an excellent lesson. Again, GMS Yorkshire, GMS Yorkshire. All right, however you want to pronounce it. It's technically Yorkshire, but you can just type in GMS Yorkshire. All right, and go on his page. And if you're on desktop, you can look it up. But if you're not, you can just go through here. Scroll back a while ago, not this far, but 1 month. Should be 4 weeks. Here it is, 3 weeks ago right here. Don't put curses on yourself. So you can go there and you can find it. You can watch it. This is what his page looks. Again, you can also do hashtag GMS gird up thy loins too, or not hashtag, at symbol, right? Or at GMS Yorkshire too. Okay, so you can do that. Or if you want the exact address, you can type this in, youtube.com/GMS gird up thy loins too, and you'll be able to find it on his channel, Lord willing. All right, so that's an excellent lesson. I didn't want to touch on too many of the same topics that he touched on in there. All right, so it's an excellent lesson to go along with it if you need more edification on that subject. All right, by all means, go and watch that brother's lesson first, and then come back here. Okay, because the way he explains it, I knew of this topic before, but the way he the way he put it into perspective of saying putting curses on yourself, I never thought about it that way. Okay, because I knew when you pray, you're supposed to, you have to pray nothing wavering, right? And because the Most High won't answer you. But I never thought of it as actually like physically, you're basically putting curses on yourself. So the way that brother said that was beautiful. It's a very edifying lesson, and like I said, it would be go over there and check it out. All right, it's a very edifying lesson. So again, don't dig yourself into a pit, and the brother talks about that as well. Okay, so you can't dig yourself into a pit. Something bad happens or you're going through it. All right, and here you are, the Most High is not going to help me out of this situation. So and so. This, that, and this and that, right? Because you know how you get in that mode. You start thinking of everything, I must be a 2/3, or maybe, because once you let the demons in, you basically start a demon block party, man. All right? Once you let one of them in, they're going to bring friends, man. All right? They're like, hey, come on in, and that friend's going to bring friends, and that friend's going to be friends, all right? So and then you're on a full-fledged demonic attack. Okay? So when you pray, you have to believe, all right? Don't dig yourself into a pit by, here you are in a bad situation and you're not believing you're going to get out of that situation. And here you are digging your pit deeper, because now your only help out of that situation, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, isn't going to help you because you're not having faith and believing in him. Okay, so let's start. We've talked long enough. Let's get James 1 and 5. Here it is. It says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. It says, for let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Now let's get it in the Good News Translation. It says, but if any of you lack wisdom, you should pray to the Most High, who will give it to you. Because the Most High gives generously and graciously to all. The Most High, will help. He helps his people. Okay? So he's generous. All right? Now, another way I like to do it is I like to get definitions. Let's look up generous.
Generous.
It says, generous, showing a readiness to give more of something, as money or time, than is strictly necessary or expected. Another one, showing kindness towards others, all right, larger or more plentiful than is usual or necessary, and it is necessary, all right, because what the Most High deems necessary is necessary, right? Because it says, because the Most High gives generously and graciously. What's gracious mean? Let's get that.
Gracious.
All right, gracious. Courteous, kind, pleasant. It says in Christian belief, showing divine grace, compassionate. All right, compassionate. Feeling or showing sympathy and concern for others. Another one that it showed was merciful.
All
right, showing or exercising mercy. Okay, and another scripture you can get to prove that the Most High is merciful is right here. There we go. Exodus 30. We can just get Exodus 34 and 6 because it shows it right then and there. It says, and the Lord passed by before him and proclaimed, the Lord our power, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth. So those words, gracious, long-suffering, and merciful. Okay, so that's how the Lord is. And, the Lord, you can't get in that mindset where you think the Lord isn't merciful and he's not going to help you out in any situation, right? So there we go. So now we know what those words mean. Again, verse 5, but if any of you lack wisdom, you should pray to the Most High, who will give it to you, because the Most High gives generously and graciously to all. But there's a condition. What's that condition? In verse 6, it says, but when you pray, you must believe. All right, when you pray, you must believe and not doubt at all. Now, let's stop and get the word doubt. What does doubt mean? Now, and it might seem like something simple to do, but one of the things I like to do on this channel is I like to get a lot of definitions. Because just a definition, can give you more edification on a subject. Even though you think, oh, I know what doubt is. I mean, just not fully believing. Well, let's see what exactly doubt means. Doubt. It says, a feeling of uncertainty or lack of conviction. All right, conviction. All right. A firmly held belief or opinion. All right, conviction is a firmly held belief or opinion. So going back, doubt, it says a feeling of uncertainty or lack of conviction. Again, what is conviction? A firmly held belief or opinion, a firmly held belief. So a lack of a firmly held belief. So basically, unbelief. Doubt is unbelief. Uncertainty, indecision, hesitancy, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, right? Doubt. A feeling of uncertainty or lack of conviction, to feel uncertain about, to question the truth or fact of. So guess what? If you're questioning, if the Lord's going to help you or not, that's really doubting the Lord, and doubting the Lord is really going back into unbelief. And if you're, if you're not believing, that's a whole nother lesson. All right, that's another whole nother lesson. All right, about unbelief. And all the things that it says about unbelievers within the Bible, I can tell you right now that they're not good things. Okay, they're not good things. For example, we can get let's see. Well, I mean, if you get Revelations 21 and 8, and I'm not gonna pull it up but I can show it to you. Actually, I can actually pull it up because I didn't want to lose my spot, but I can just get in here. Revelation 21 and 8 says, but the fearful and unbelieving and abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So that's, you don't want to be in the unbelieving, you don't want to get in that unbelieving spirit, because that could take a hold of you, and then you just here you are, you're having doubt because demons are messing with you, and that goes, that causes you to bug out or fall off even further and become, unbelieving. All right, and then Revelation 21 and 8, all right, that shows you what happens to the unbelieving, all right, the unbeliever. So you don't want to, don't dig yourself into a pit. All right, don't dig yourself into a pit. All right, so continuing on, in verse 6, we're going to get it again. It says, but when you pray, you must believe and not doubt at all. We got what doubt means, right? It says, whoever doubts is like a wave in the sea that is driven and blown about by the wind. And Salakia for all the talking in the back. Spirits getting conjured up. It says, whoever doubts, let's start over again, all right? It says, but when you pray, you must believe and not doubt at all. Not a little bit, not at all. It says, because why? It says, whoever doubts is like a wave in the sea that is driven and blown about by the wind. Now, another thing you can do is get a visual reference. All right, you can go and get waves crashing. All right, you can get waves crashing, and you go over here. Video. All right, waves crashing video, and check this out. This'll do. And that's in slow motion, but does that look? I don't really want something. Let me see. Let's do a violent ocean waves. let's see. Here it is. Big rocks.
Heading on a family trip?
Nah.
Big
Sorry, son.
ocean
Price
waves
is
crashing
crazy.
into rocks and exploding. Big ocean waves crashing into rocks and exploding. Look at this. That's you. That's you, essentially, man. Okay? You're that wave that's being boom, slant up against that rock, boom, slant up against another one. You know, it's a particularly violent action, man. You don't want to, you know, you don't want that. Okay? That's not, you know, doesn't seem safe, all right? Whoever doubts is like a wave in the sea that is driven and blown about by the wind. In verse 7, it says, people like that, unable to make up their minds and undecided in all they do, must not think that they will receive anything from the Lord. Okay? So when you're in that mind, when that doubtful spirit, that doubtful mindset, all right, the Most High is not going to give you anything. All right? Because the Most High relies off of faith. The Most High relies off of belief and you trusting in Him. Right? And if you're over here not trusting and not believing in Him, then you've severed that connection, man. Okay, because it's all through the scriptures. Mark 11:24. Let's go over there. Mark 11:24. Take this time to grab a drink. All right, so here you go. Mark 11:24. Let's get in the King James version. And this is the red letter, so you know it's Yahushua is speaking. It says, "Therefore I say unto you, what things soever you desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them." Okay, so again, when you pray, you have to believe that you receive them, and you will receive them. And now another thing you got to understand is that, you know, not always when you pray, if I could get my words right, when you pray, your prayers necessarily aren't going to be answered in the way that you think they will be, because the Most High might have you going through something for a time and for a season. All right, for example, I have the testimony back when I was very ill because I was going off and wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, you know, and that time, you know, I remember praying, I believe, at least, it's been a while now, I remember praying and maybe not hard enough, or maybe I wasn't believing, or however it was going, all right? I'm not sure exactly, it was wild, but, you know, praying, you know, to get out of that state and that misery and that pain, and it didn't pass. Okay, now could that have been because I wasn't believing? That could have been. It could have been that, or it could have been on another state. A thing it could have been is that the Most High just wanted me to go through that, because guess what? It got to the point where it's so bad. You know, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, and I prayed, and I said, I basically asked the Lord for and to get me out of this, and I said, look, I'll start watching more lessons, and I'll start making lessons. I will start teaching, all right? I will start making videos and teaching, and, you know, within, you know, not too long after that, I healed, and everything was great. I felt better, okay? And I had to make do on my word, all right? And here I am making videos. So the Lord wanted me to go through that, and there might be certain situations where we might go through that. You might, you know, be in pain, or you might be going through heartbreak or sorrow, all right, and praying to get out of that, and the Most High might have you go through that. Why? Because you got another thing, you know, you got to learn is tried. Let me see. Let me see. Check this out. So this is talking about the 2/3 and the 1/3. What in the world just happened? I don't even know what I hit. Let's go back up to verse 8. It says, Zechariah 13:8, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the 3rd part shall be left therein. We're trying to be that 3rd part. That 3rd part is the elect. 2/3 are getting cut off and die. That's them. They're gone. All right, we don't want to be part of that. We're trying to be the 3rd, right? And if we are of the 3rd, another thing you have to realize in verse 9, it says, and I will bring the 3rd part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined. And I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name and I will hear them. I will say it is my people, and they shall say the Lord is my power. Okay, now if you've ever watched silver being smelted, all right, they melt it down, all right, get all the impurities out, and then it gets solid again. And then they melt it down. They keep on doing that until it gets purer and purer. Now it's a particularly violent process. All right, and if we're of the elect, that's something that we have to go through in this truth. All right, and we call ourselves the hopeful elect. All right, the hopeful elect, we're hopeful of being part of the elect, right? So, and you can't get in the downy spirit, well, I'm probably of the 2/3, because again, You know, why would the Most High help you in that situation? Okay. Now, we already know that, you know, it's the elect has already been predestinated, but that's not a mindset to have. All right. At the end of the day, do we know we're of the elect? No. Are we hopeful of it? Yes. All right. We're hopeful of being part of the elect. Okay. We're hopeful of it. Okay. So, you know, Lord willing, I myself, as well as you brothers and sisters that watch these lessons, are part of the elect. Okay. So that's one of the things you gotta understand, is that sometimes when you pray, sometimes when you pray about something, it might not necessarily be answered like that, because you're being tried. You're being, you know, you're going through the trial right now. You're going through that burning, all right, that being smelted down, all right, and the Lord needs you to go through that for that time and that season. All right, you might have to go through pain or heartbreak, and you could pray, you know, Lord, I need out of this, and He might not let you out of that, because you need to go through that for a learning lesson, or it's building your character. All right, it's making you stronger in some type of way. But in that same fact, when that happens, you need to be able to understand that and be like, okay, the Lord's having me go through this, and you can't let that doubtful spirit come on and say, oh, He's not answering me, He must not be dealing with me, you know, the Lord must not care about, I must be a 2/3, and then you go again, you start digging yourself in that pit again. But in that time, in that moment when you're praying, you have to be 100%. All right, I hope you can understand that you have to be 100% and understand. All right, that yes, He's going to answer me. He's going to answer my prayer. All right, and then if something, you know, down the line, it doesn't happen, all right, understand that, hey, you know, was I doubting, or maybe I'm meant to go through this. Okay, you can't let, you know, specifically if you're going through pain and then you pray about it, and I had faith and I wasn't wavering, and it didn't happen. You know, maybe He's not dealing with me, and then you go and you start, you know, slipping off and getting back in that hole again. So, hey, just know that the Lord's having you go. He might be having you go through something for a reason, all right? But you still have to pray, and you have to have faith when you believe, all right? Mark 11:24, therefore I say unto you, what things soever you desire, when you pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. You have to believe that you're going to receive them, and then you'll have them, okay? That's the condition, okay? That's the condition. The condition is that when you pray, you have to believe, okay? That's the condition. Now, in the Good News Translation, it says, for this reason I tell you, when you pray and ask for something, believe that you have received it, and you will be given whatever you ask for, okay? That's what it says in Mark 11:24 in the Good News Translation. But again, within reason too. You know, if you're praying for a Lamborghini, you're probably not going to get it, all right? Why? Because the Lord knows you don't truly need that, okay? So let's get Matthew 21 and 22. Continuing on, all right, with the same what would it be? Notion? As I don't know if I'm using that right. All right, let's see. We like getting definitions. What's notion? Yeah, notion. The same, like similar idea. All right. So, you know, in the same notion, in the same vein, as we can say, you know, because it's from the same vein, like a rock vein, all right, a vein of ore, it's from the same vein. We can get Matthew 21 and 22, okay, which reads, all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. Now look, there's the condition right there, believing. And all things whatsoever you ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. If you're not believing, you're not going to receive it. Okay, Good News Translation, it says, if you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. Now, if it's saying if you believe, you will receive everything you ask for in prayer, what if you're doing the opposite? What if you're not believing? Then you're not going to receive nothing you're asking in your prayer. Right? If you're not believing, if you're not having faith, you're not gonna get anything. Just like it said, you know, and James 1 and 8 says, let not that man think that he should receive anything of the Lord. If you're not believing, don't think that you're gonna receive anything. Okay? If you're not believing, you're not gonna receive anything. Okay? So don't think that, oh, I'm not believing, I'm receiving. You're not gonna receive anything if you're not believing. Okay? Not one thing. Okay? That's why you have to trust in the Lord. You have to pray. You have to believe when you pray. You have to ask in faith. You have to have faith, right? We're going to get more into that as we continue on down here. We're going to jump over to Proverbs 3 and 5. All right, so let's get it. Because it goes back to having faith and trusting in the Lord, okay? And if you don't have faith and you're not trusting in the Lord, why would the Lord help you out, okay? Why would the Lord help you out? If you don't believe in Him and you're not trusting in Him, all right, why would He help you out, okay? Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not into thine own understanding. That's another thing, that you can lean into your own understanding a multitude of different ways. All right, and you can be doing that when you're praying. Say, oh, he's not going to do this or that, or I must be blah, 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 blah. A bunch of shit, man. All right, get out of your head. All right, stop doing that. All right, stop leaning into your own understanding. All right, and lean into a biblical understanding that says, hey, if you trust and you pray and you believe in the Lord's going to help you out. Not, oh, blah, 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 just a bunch of nothing, okay? Don't let that hold you back. Don't let a bunch of useless shit hold you back, all right? A bunch of doubt and unbelief, and oh, he might not help me, and this and that, and oh maybe it's because I'm wicked, or maybe it's this, maybe it's that. That's a different thing. You can examine yourself, but you can't also beat upon yourself and grab that shovel and start digging that pit, man. And some of you people be doing it at an all-time high level. You don't even have a shovel at this point. You have a full-on fucking excavator, man. Excavator. All right. In case you don't know what that means, I'll show you. You've seen one before. Here it is. Look at that. Look at the hole it's digging. Some of you people don't even have a shovel, okay? Literally, some of you people are going straight to the excavator, all right? And you're digging big-ass fucking holes, man. You're digging a huge-ass pit for yourself. You're moving gravel and stone and rock, and you're going through it, boom, 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 digging and digging and digging and digging. All right, look at that. That's a little bit more than what a shovel can do. All right, and some of you people over here doing that. You're over here using excavators, all right, because you're doubting so hard that you've gotten yourself so deep in a pit, and you don't want to get in that. You start getting in that deep pit, man. It can be, it's very your spirit is very volatile. You start doing things like that, you might just bug out, all right, and nobody wants to bug out, okay. So just trust in the Lord. Don't trust in what your mind's saying. Your mind don't know shit, all right? You're just a human at the end of the day, all right? The Lord knows best, not you, all right? We're not grand beings of understanding like the Lord, all right? The understanding we get comes from who? The Lord, okay? So don't try to lean into your own worldly understanding, or like whatever the demons are trying to throw you off and put you into, blah, 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 this and that, all right? Because when you do that, just know you're getting further and further from the Lord, okay? Proverbs 3 and 5, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, all of it, right? Not wavering, all of it, 100%, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. You can't direct your paths. You're just a puny little human. What are you going to do? That's why you have to ask the Lord. All right, that's why everything we have to do, we have to pray constantly. We don't know what to do. The Lord has to direct us. All right, we're essentially just like, how is it, trying to find a good example. I can't really think, we're not like, it's almost like, Sims, right? It seems like they have the ability to do what they want, but they really don't. They're wandering around doing this stuff, but the Lord made them how, well, not the Lord, but you as your person, we're like the Sims, right? So say if you played the Sims, all right, you'd create a character, right? And you have their traits set up, how they're going to be, how they act, what they look like, what they're into, what they're not into, right? And, they have the autonomy where they can wander around, all right, but you can stop them from doing something or force them to do something, regardless if that, so it's not, they don't really have any free will. We're like that as well, okay? So how are we going to know what's, this, that, or the other, all right? The Lord knows what's best for us. We don't really know what's best for us, all right? When we thought we knew what was best for us, we were in the world smoking weed, all right, eating pork, all right, doing drugs, all right, committing adultery, all right, doing all sorts of, wicked, crazy shit. That's when we were leaning into our understanding of how things were, all right? So don't do it. Don't lean into your understanding, all right? Lean not unto thine understanding, and in all ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes, fear the Lord, and depart from evil. Okay, so let's get that in the Good News Translation. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, never rely on what you think you know. Remember the Lord in everything you do, and he will show you the right way. Never let yourself think that you are wiser than you are. Simply obey the Lord and refuse to do wrong. Okay, and if the Lord says, hey, when you pray, you need to pray, and without wavering, then guess what? You need to pray without wavering. All right, the Lord knows best. You don't. We don't. We're in the flesh, man. All right, this flesh will have you fucked up if you try to lean into your own understanding. Okay, that's why we lean into biblical knowledge, all right, not our own understanding, all right. We lean into the understanding of the Lord, all right, trusting in the Lord, and he gives us the understanding. We can't do it ourselves, all right. You see how it was in the world when we did it ourselves without the Lord. Did you see how it was when we were in the truth, before we were in the truth, Salakia, before we were in the truth out in the world, when we were leaning on our understandings? You see how we were? Girls with the fucking weaves in and the big old eyelashes and big black mascara, you know, the fucking eyeliner all around, all right, asses hanging out, titties hanging out, men walking around with their asses hanging out, smoking on Black and Milds and Newports and blowing weed, all right, and getting with other men's wives. That's what happened when we were, you know, leaning in our own understanding. So obviously we're not capable of doing that. So we need to trust in the Lord, right? Hebrews 11:1. Let's get it. Hebrews 11:1 reads, now, and they're getting into faith, right? It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You might not see these things physically, right? You might not see these things. So when you pray, you have to believe. You have to have faith, right? Faith, okay? There you go. And whatever you ask, believe that you shall have it and you shall receive it. That's faith. All right. When you ask nothing wavering, that's faith. All right. Trusting in the Lord and knowing that he's going to do what's best for you. That's faith. All right. And the definition of faith, Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You're not going to always see it physically. Okay. It says, for by it the elders obtained a good report. All right. Through faith we understand that if I could speak, through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of the Most High, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Now listen here, two excellent examples. By faith Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, the Most High testifying of his gifts, and by it being dead yet speaketh. Now look what happened to Cain. He didn't have any faith, but Abel did. Okay, look what happened to Cain. It wasn't good. Now let's go. What about, we got a couple more. Where was it? It says in verse 5, it says, by Enoch was translated. That's why I didn't have 7 in here. I was wondering where it was. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because the Most High had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony, that he pleased the Most High. Check it out. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek them. There you go. Verse 6, right at the end, it says, for he that cometh, so when you come to the Most High, right, for he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is. So for when you come to the Most High, you got to believe in him, right? And he that is a rewarder of him that diligently seek him. And you got to believe that he's going to reward you if you're actively searching after him. All right, you can't say, oh, I'm gonna pray and then not believe in that prayer. You have to believe the Most High is going to help you out in that situation. In verse 7, this one's excellent, because this is the one I use, all right, to explain. In verse 7, it says, by faith Noah, being warned of the Most High of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. Now imagine if Noah had not had faith, because the Most High came down and said, hey, look, I'm getting ready to tear this place up, man. Okay, and Noah warned people, and they didn't believe. They didn't have faith. And all those, guess what? They all died. Okay, all those people died, right? But Noah and his family, they made it, right? Why? Faith, all right? And that's another thing. You have to have faith, okay? He built it. Now, what if you said, oh, I didn't see nothing coming? I didn't really see an example. I didn't, so why would I go and do that? Well, guess what? Imagine if Noah was in that same mindset, all right? He would have been right along there with him, but he was righteous, all right? He had faith, and what did he do? He moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, all right? So, and that's what you have to do. You have to have faith. You have to believe. With the words that are within this book, you have to believe. Okay? You can't dig yourself into a pit. All right? Because guess what? If you're in that pit, guess what? If you were in that moving in that faithlessness, not having faith, not having trust, how would you have been in the days of Noah? Okay? Would you have made it onto the ark? If you weren't having faith, guess what? You wouldn't have. Okay? And we're in times coming up. that, hey man, you know, it's going to be a worse time that's ever been. So you got to make sure you're spiritually prepared. Okay, Proverbs 3 and 5. Let's go over there. Proverbs 3 and 5 reads, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart." And we already got this, actually. I don't know how I got it twice. But let's get Ephesians. You know what? We'll read it again. Why not? Proverbs 3 and 5, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil." All right, evil. As not apostle, but Elder Hawad, GMS North Carolina always says. All right, GMS on the go, as he's known by. Let's get Ephesians 6 and 13. Ephesians 6 and 13. All right, so you got to realize we're in a spiritual battle right now. Okay, you're dealing with demons or whatever they're dealing with you. All right, they're trying to say, oh, this, that, and the other. All right, no, the Lord's not going to deal with you and all these things. You're in a spiritual battle, man. We are in a spiritual battle. Okay, we're gonna get that in just a minute, but you know, Ephesians 6 and 13 reads, and it's at the top. Give me 1 minute. Grab a drink during this time. I have to restart the app. Now to let me highlight. Ephesians 6 and 13 says, so we gotta realize, you know what? We're gonna get Ephesians 6 and 10 first. So we were in 6 and 10 through 12. So that really, we can get that, and then just get this. Ephesians 6 and 10 through 12. Starting with 10, it says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor." Now, we're in a spiritual battle, so we have to have armor, right? If you look at let's just go throughout history, all right? Let's look at the Romans. Okay? They were in a physical battle, and they put on armor, right? Now, let's look at a medieval battle. They were in armor, right? They were in armor. Okay, now let's look at World War One. Now let's look. Civil War outfit. Well, they didn't have too much armor at all, but you know, it was also very, very bloody because they went backwards. Edomites, they didn't even have no armor for that one. I don't know why they did that, but if you look at World War One, they had a helmet. All right, there you go. See, armor. That's an armor. Now let's look at World War II. These are all physical battles, right? World War II. Helmet, right? There you go. Now, let's look at modern military outfit. And you see they got plate carriers and helmets, you know, and all sorts of things. Okay? Armor. They all have armor on in a physical battle. Now, we're in a spiritual battle, so we're not going to be wearing physical armor. We're going to be wearing spiritual armor. So you see how they all had armor on? When you go into a battle, you put on armor. All right. For example, let's just look up what is armor? What is the point?
Armor.
The metal coverings formerly worn by soldiers or warriors to protect the body in battle. All right? Verb, provide someone with emotional, social, or other defenses. Armored them, right? Armor, okay? A shield, a sheathing, protection. A person or thing that prevents someone or something from suffering harm or injury, okay? So, put on the armor, right? You need the armor. Now, they're in a physical battle. They're putting on the armor. You're in a spiritual battle. You should be doing what? Putting on the armor. That doesn't mean going and grabbing a plate carrier from your local military surplus. It's talking about the faith, all right, and trust in this Lord, all right, and the Lord, right? Ephesians 6:10, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, this faith, this trust, this knowledge, this understanding, this wisdom, right? That you may be able to withstand against the wiles of the devil. Why? Listen here. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, not like a physical battle with swords and clashing on an actual battlefield physically, but spiritually, right? What are we wrestling against? Because we're not, wrestling against men like that. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, right? This wickedness that Esau is putting out, these demons, all right, these doctrines that are being put out, all right? We're wrestling with vexation and, and through the Spirit, all right? So we have to put on the armor that the Lord gave us through faith, understanding, prayer, all right? That's our armor. And if you're not putting it on, you're going to be getting fucked up, okay? So in verse 13 it says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Let's get the Good News Translation. It says, the whole armor of the Most High. All right, that's what it starts off with. It says, finally, build up your strength in union with the Lord, and by means of his mighty power, put on the armor that the Most High gives you, so that you will be able to stand up against the devil's evil tricks. We are not fighting against human beings, but against the wicked spiritual forces in the heavenly world, the rulers, authorities, and cosmic powers of this dark age. So put on the Most High's armor now, that when the evil day comes, you will be able to resist the enemy's attacks, and after fighting to the end, you will still hold your ground. It's heavy. It's heavy. Okay, so put on the armor, else, because if right now I said I'm going to send you out to this battlefield right now, all right, and guns are going off and swords are being, there's all these different, well, I won't use guns because they'll use plate carriers. I'd say if right now, it was a medieval battle, I said I'm going to go send you out on a battlefield, here's your shield. Not your shield. Here's your sword. All right, I'm gonna send you out there. Are you gonna? And there's armor. Are you just gonna forget the armor? Or are you gonna put that armor on? I say, hey, do you want armor? Or are you gonna say, no, I don't want the armor? You're gonna take that damn armor, aren't you? Not that damn armor. All right. Well, in this case, it's not spiritual armor, so that could be just armor, just damn armor. But no, not the spiritual armor is not. But this physical armor. Physical armor don't mean shit. We could put on. You could go out and get a plate carrier right now, and that's not gonna do anything. We need the spiritual armor. All right, the blessed armor. Right. That's what we need. But if you're on the battlefield and I say, hey, you want this armor? You're not going to say, no, I don't need it. And you're going to run out, what, in a regular plain clothes and a sword? No, you're going to take the armor. You're going to put it on. Why? Because you don't want to get fucked up. But if you're in this truth, why wouldn't you put on the armor? Okay? If you would do it in a physical state, if I was going to say, hey, I'm going to punch you in the face, do you want to wear a helmet or no? All right? If I said, hey, I'm about to cold clock you in the jaw, all right, do you want to wear this football helmet or not? Okay, I'm not just wind back and just clock your ass. Do you want football helmet or no football helmet? You're going to say, yeah, I'm going to want the football helmet on, right? That's what you're going to say. So why, in a spiritual sense, don't you want that helmet on? Well, it doesn't make any sense, does it? All right, you need to have that armor, because if you don't have it, hey, you're going to feel the full blow of that punch hit you right in the face. All right, a demon's going to come over here with a left hook, bam. Gonna come down over here with a right hook, bam. Come around here with a roundhouse, bam. Get you down, and punch you in the gut and your solar plexus. All the air's going to pop out of you. Bam, going to do it, sweep your leg. Bam, now you're on the ground. They're going to get on you and start wham, 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 wham. And you don't have no armor on, man. You're just going to allow that to happen? You're not going to put on the armor? Doesn't make much sense, does it? So finally, we're going to close out with Psalms 118:14. I don't know how long we've been going for. About 44 minutes. All right. So Psalms 111:14. Let's get it. Psalms 111:14. Okay. And there's more. We have the time. We can get, let me see. There's so many scriptures we can get. We have the time to do it. Let's leave that. We can get that. We'll close off. That'll be a closing point. We can get where do we want to get? So I kind of want to make this go for like another at least want to get another 10-ish minutes out of it. I'd like something like that. Almost an hour. Let's see. Bear with me. Now how we can do it is we can actually just go straight to my notes. Really, you can go straight to my notes and go to trusting in the Lord. Okay, and these aren't really notes, but they're just scriptures. They're kind of like a precepts. So a lot of time put into all these. So trusting in the Lord. Here we go. All right. So, and sometimes I put little notes and annotations, I guess. But a lot of times, sometimes my notes I'll have actually like up here. I call this whole thing my notes, but really my notes are like that's lesson plan. What's going on? Why is that halfway cut off? I don't like that at all. Guess you don't really need it, because I guess you can just close it out. But notes, that's notes there, and some of them I have them on like regular, like written, take down notes, in the computer, like through a notepad. But hey, anyway, trusting in the Lord. Let's see what we got. We can grab through here. There's an encompassing area right here with a bunch of scriptures about trusting the Lord. All right, because you're supposed to be trusting the Lord. All right. Now, what can we get? One that see now in Job 5:19, it says, "He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 shall no evil touch thee." All right, you have to have faith. All right, because through all the scriptures, all right, through the Bible, it talks about the Lord helping His people. All right, what was the? Because people are like, "Oh, the unconditional love of God." There's conditions. Everything has conditions. Okay, everything has conditions. Okay. Everything, all right. One of the beloved brothers recently just said this. I believe it was Elder Manata Zakba, actually, the elder. Everything's conditional. Okay, it's true. Everything is conditional. All right, there are conditions for love. There are conditions for, however it goes. All right, if you love someone and they came up and stabbed you in the neck, all right, you probably wouldn't love that person anymore. Right? That's conditional. Okay, so did we even get 2 Samuel? I don't know if we did. We didn't. So that's an excellent scripture. All right, I'm going to put it right up at the top. All right, you can see it. 2 Samuel 22:3. All right, you can go and look these up yourself. All right, I made sure to write them down correctly. But again, they're in my notes. So if you want 100% proof, all right, you can go and look them up. And they'll read just the same unless there was a typo somewhere. But I copy them directly over. So they should be accurate. So 2 Samuel 22:3, "The power of my rock, in Him will I trust. He is my shield." Because we were just talking about, the putting on the whole armor of the Lord, right? So the power of my rock, in Him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge, my Savior. Thou savest me from violence. And we just touched on this, I believe, the other day. All right. Dealing with what a high tower is, we did what was the word? Stronghold. All right, stronghold, and that's a great scripture as well. We just got that the other day. To those who trust in Him, right? Nahum 1:7. "The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and He knoweth them that trust in Him." All right, now we just got that the other day, and we showed you what a stronghold was. But in case you missed that, we'll show you again. The video game's going to come up, but that's fine because the video game has excellent pictures. This is a stronghold, right, from the video game. If it would load, there we go. So you can see, all right, you got all these walls, right? And in those walls, you got other walls, right, keeping you safe. So you're in here, and all these other things are out here attacking you. All right, there's actually a picture where one of the castles under, here you go. All these demons, all right, are coming to try overcome and attack you, and you're over here. And unlike, like I always say, unlike a worldly version of a stronghold, all right, they're not going to be able to bust these castle walls down. All right, this is the Lord's stronghold. All right, they can't bust in. All right, so you're protected in here. Okay, but hey, again, don't leave. See that gate? Don't leave that gate open. All right, and if you're not being prayed up, all right, and being 100%, and in faith, all right, that gate's open. Okay, you got to put on the whole armor. Okay, because it says, and again, it says, it said, he knows all them that trust in him. If you're, he's gonna help me. No, he's not. Then you're not really trusting in him, are you? There you go. So we can continue on. Let's see what else we can grab. I think we're getting closer. Yeah, about 50 minutes. Let's try to grab one or two more. Let's see what we can get here. Yeah, there's another one. We can get that. Proverbs 18:10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Okay, so again, calling upon the name. But again, we can go back and get James 1:5. All right, not here. What was that? All right, James 1:5. All right, we already got it. It was the first one we got, but I want to get it again. And then we'll get the other one, last scripture that we're going to have for the lesson, and then close out. Again, James 1:5. We opened with it. If any of you lack wisdom, ask him. Let him ask. Slocky, let me start over. James 1:5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Here's the condition. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like the wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Good News Translation. It says, 5. Here we go. But if any of you lack wisdom, you should pray to the Most High, who will give it to you, because the Most High gives generously and graciously to all. But when you pray, you must believe and not doubt at all. Whoever doubts is like a wave in the sea that is driven and blown about by the wind. People like that, unable to make up their minds and undecided in all they do, must not think that they will receive anything from the Lord. Hey, it's heavy, man. So we're going to get one more, Psalms 118:14. Then we're going to go ahead and close out. Let's get it. There it is. Psalms 118 and verse 14. The Lord is my strength and song, and is become my salvation. There you go. So the Lord is your strength. And if you don't have the Lord, you don't have that strength, and you're not going to be able to get through whatever you're trying to go through. All right? So don't dig yourself into a pit. All right? Don't start getting that excavator and start going crazy deep with it. All right? So don't dig yourself into a pit. I'm trying to think of something I could add on to this. Don't dig yourself into a pit. Yeah, there we go. Here, trust in the Lord. There we go. So don't dig yourself into a pit. Trust in the Lord. All right, he's going to help you out. But the condition is that you have to believe that he's going to help you out. All right? So, hey, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to that sister as well as you brothers and sisters that tuned in. All right, hey, and Lord willing, if you were going through something that helped you with that as well, all right, let me take a break just one moment and move this. Plug this in. It's getting dangerously low, 3%. All right, so hey, Lord willing, it helped, whoever watched it. All right, so, don't dig yourself into a pit. Trust in the Lord. When you pray, you must believe. Don't say, oh, Lord, I need help. He's not going to help me. He's not going to get me out of the situation, because guess what? If you're like that, he's not going to help you or get you out of that situation. You have to trust and say, the Lord is going to get me out of this situation. I just have to have faith. I have to pray. He's going to help me. I know he's going to help me. And I trust in the Lord. That's how you have to be. That's the mindset to be in. Don't dig yourself into a pit. All right, trust in the Lord. So with that, we're going to close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. I want to give double honors to elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. When you pray, believe. All right, hey, until next one, Lord willing, shalom.